Margaret Brown, you might not know the name, but you've heard of the Unsinkable Molly Brown, right? She's the American socialite who survived the Titanic. But she was more than just a survivor. Molly Brown was a force of nature, a woman who defied expectations and lived life on her own terms. This is her story, a story of grit, determination, and an unyielding spirit. It's a story that resonates even a century later. Born in Missouri in 1867, Margaret Tobin, as she was originally known, didn't have a privileged start. Her family was poor, Irish immigrants seeking a better life. They worked hard, their lives a world away from the glitz and glamour Molly would later be associated with. Life wasn't easy, but young Margaret was tough. She yearned for more than the drudgery of factory work, the fate of many young women at the time. She dreamed of adventure, of a life less ordinary, and she wasn't afraid to fight for it. At 18, Margaret set off for Colorado, the Wild West, a land of opportunity where fortunes were made and lost overnight. She found work in a Leadville general store, a far cry from the grand salons she'd later grace. But it was a start. It was in Leadville that she met James Joseph J.J. Brown, a mining superintendent. They married in 1886. He wasn't rich, not yet, but he was ambitious, just like her. And soon their luck changed. JJ's innovative mining techniques struck gold, literally. The Browns were suddenly catapulted into wealth. They moved to Denver, joining the city's elite. Margaret, now Molly, embraced this new life. She became a prominent socialite, known for her extravagant parties and flamboyant style. But Molly wasn't just interested in parties and diamonds. She had a social conscience, a deep empathy for the less fortunate. She used her newfound wealth to champion causes she believed in. She fought for women's suffrage, workers' rights, and education for all. This was the real Molly Brown, compassionate, determined, and a voice for the voiceless. Section 5. Setting sail on the Titanic. In 1912, Molly decided to return to America after receiving news of her grandson's illness. She booked passage on the newest, grandest ship afloat, the RMS Titanic. It was billed as unsinkable, a marvel of engineering, the epitome of luxury and opulence. Molly, with her usual zest for life, embraced the experience. She mingled with fellow first-class passengers, enjoying the lavish dinners, the onboard orchestra, and the excitement of the journey. Little did she know that this voyage would forever etch her name in history. Section 6. A night of chaos and courage. On the night of April 14th, 1912, the unthinkable happened. The Titanic, a marvel of modern engineering and luxury, was on its maiden voyage, carrying over 2,000 passengers and crew. The night was calm, the sea serene, and the stars shone brightly in the sky. The unsinkable Titanic struck an iceberg. The collision was sudden and unexpected, sending a shudder through the ship. The iceberg tore through the hull, creating a series of fatal breaches. Chaos erupted as the gravity of the situation dawned on the passengers. The once jubilant atmosphere turned to one of dread and confusion. People scrambled to understand what had happened, their minds racing with fear and uncertainty. Panic, fear, and confusion reigned as the icy Atlantic waters began to claim the ship. The crew worked frantically to lower the lifeboats, but there were not enough for everyone. The realization that many would not survive began to sink in. Amidst the pandemonium, Molly Brown's true character shone through. Known for her indomitable spirit and generosity, she became a beacon of hope and strength. She refused to succumb to fear. Instead, she took charge, organizing and assisting in the evacuation efforts. Her determination was unwavering, and her courage inspired those around her. She helped load women and children onto lifeboats, even giving up her own spot for others. Her selflessness was evident as she moved through the crowd, offering words of comfort and encouragement. Her bravery and calm demeanor in the face of unimaginable terror earned her the respect and admiration of all those around her. Molly Brown's actions that night were a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a shining example of courage in the darkest of times. Her legacy lives on, a reminder of the power of compassion and bravery in the face of adversity. Section 7. Rowing to Survival. Molly found herself in lifeboat number 6, a vessel that would become her sanctuary and her battleground. It was one of the few lifeboats that wasn't filled to capacity, a rare stroke of luck amidst the chaos. But her ordeal wasn't over. The night was fraught with peril and uncertainty. The night was bitterly cold, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones and makes every breath a struggle. The cries of those in the water echoed through the darkness, a haunting reminder of the lives still at risk. Molly, ever the pragmatist, took charge. She rallied the terrified women in the lifeboat, urging them to row to stay warm and keep hope alive. Her voice was a beacon of strength in the enveloping darkness. With every stroke of the oar, they fought against the icy grip of the Atlantic, their collective effort a testament to human resilience. She even threatened the crewman in charge when he refused to return to search for survivors. Her determination was unyielding. The crewman, initially resistant, eventually relented, moved by her unwavering resolve. They turned back, scanning the dark waters for any sign of life. Her courage and determination in the face of death were nothing short of extraordinary. Molly Brown's actions that night were a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. She showed that even in the darkest of times, one person's bravery can light the way for others. Section 8. A Heroine's Return. After a harrowing night adrift, lifeboat number 6 was rescued by the Carpathia. The survivors, traumatized and grief-stricken, were taken to New York City. Molly immediately took on the role of caretaker, comforting the bereaved and ensuring everyone had food and shelter. News of the disaster spread like wildfire, and the world was captivated by the stories of survival. Molly Brown, the Unsinkable Molly, became a national heroine. Her courage and compassion captured the public imagination. Section 9. A life dedicated to others. Molly could have easily retreated back into her comfortable life after the Titanic, but that wasn't her style. Instead, she chose to channel her energy and resources into helping others. The harrowing experience of surviving the Titanic disaster had a profound impact on her, shaping her future endeavors and igniting a passion for social change. The experience had a profound impact on her. It was a turning point that made her realize the fragility of life and the importance of using her privilege for the greater good. She saw firsthand the suffering and loss, and it fueled her determination to make a difference. She dedicated the rest of her life to philanthropy and social activism. Molly Brown became a beacon of hope and a symbol of resilience. Her efforts were not just limited to one cause. She was a multifaceted activist who worked tirelessly across various fronts. She became a vocal advocate for workers' rights, campaigning for safer working conditions in mines. The plight of the miners who toiled in dangerous and often deadly conditions moved her deeply. She lobbied for legislation to protect these workers, ensuring they had safer environments and fair wages. She tirelessly fought for women's suffrage, believing passionately in equality and a woman's right to vote. Molly was a prominent figure in the suffragette movement, attending rallies, giving speeches, and using her influence to garner support for the cause. Her dedication to women's rights was unwavering, and she played a crucial role in the eventual success of the movement. She used her platform to raise awareness about poverty and social injustice, tirelessly working to make the world a better place. Molly Brown's legacy is one of compassion and action. She understood that true change required more than just words. It needed persistent effort and a willingness to stand up for what was right. Her life's work continues to inspire generations, reminding us that one person can indeed make a significant difference. Section 10. The Unsinkable Spirit of Molly Brown. Molly Brown's story is much more than just surviving a shipwreck. It's a story of resilience, of overcoming adversity and using her experiences to help others. She was a woman who defied expectations at every turn. She was a beacon of strength and compassion in a time when women were often relegated to the sidelines. She used her voice to speak for those who couldn't speak for themselves. She taught us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Section 11. A Legacy That Lives On. Molly Brown died in 1932, but her legacy lives on. She is remembered as the Unsinkable Molly Brown, a symbol of courage, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. Her story continues to inspire, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope and humanity can prevail. So the next time you hear the name Molly Brown, remember she was more than just a survivor. She was a fighter, a champion for the underdog, a woman who lived a life that was anything but ordinary.